welcome to Dog on the Plot. And finally, we've had a break in the weather. It's given us a break. No storms forecast for this weekend. It's pretty still. The sun is shining. It's definitely going to be a big gardening weekend. Now, I have put some compost into the house to warm up. So we're definitely going to be doing some sowing later. But you've got to take advantage of the sun while it's shining, right? So I think I'm going to spend this afternoon in the home garden doing some little jobs, and then we're going to do some sowing either this evening or in the morning, and then tomorrow is going to be an allotment day. So it's going to be a pretty packed gardening weekend. Hi Dory. Hi, you want to be on the video? Come on then. Come on then. There we go. But every good gardening weekend has to start with a trip to the garden centre. And actually I did this yesterday afternoon. We went to the garden centre, didn't we? Did you have fun? You did pee up some stuff. And I went with my cousin, and we were going there primarily to buy potatoes. So I headed with my cousin down to our local nursery who sell their potatoes loose. So you can choose different varieties and you can have like one of every potato. It's really good. I decided this year to go with the two that performed best for me last year, which for the first early that was Red Duke of York, and for the second early it was Charlotte. I also went for a bit of an outlier, so I decided to have another, I think first early, or Casablanca. And yeah, I just like the name, so I went for Casablanca. And then my main crop I've already got, so I've already bought Sapa Mira as my main crop potato. And the other one I've already got is Salad Blue, so the purple blue potatoes that are a little bit of a novelty, but I've got quite a few left over from last year that are still in storage. So they're like seed potatoes now, so I'm gonna save some of those to plant. So all of those potatoes can now start chitting. And I've been asking the family to save some egg boxes, and they will go on my windowsill in the bedroom, which is where I chitted them last year, and they seem to get just the right amount of light, but it was also fairly cool on that windowsill, so that's where I'm going to do them again this year. And because I rarely leave a garden centre without something I didn't go for, I also came away with two little petunias. And oh my goodness, I've wanted petunias for an awfully long time. I've thought I've bought petunias before, but it's a different kind of plant. And these were £2 each, which is an absolute bargain if you've ever seen petunias in a garden centre. So the nursery was definitely the place to buy those. And then I also bought some massive asparagus fern as well. But all in all, a good trip to the garden centre has set me up well for this gardening weekend. So I'm going to go around and find all my hellebores and give them a little trim. So that's one of the tasks for the home garden. And I think, you know, generally it just needs a good tidy up. So I'm going to crack on, and then when I'm done, we'll get back together, have a quick whip around the garden and look what there is to see. Okay, this is going well. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with what I'm achieving right now. However, we are losing light and I wanted to go around the garden before that happens. But look what I just found. A shoebox full of spring bulbs, most of which are very happily just growing in the box. Yeah, where are these going? That's the question. Some of these are small bulbs as well. And if you remember, I had that issue about the three-cornered leek, and thought that they must have been in that other box that had small bulbs in, which I then planted in a pot. Now I'm thinking they could be in here. I don't know, should I take them down to the plot tomorrow and just stick them in there? Maybe I should do that. I mean, I don't even know where I'd put these in the home garden now. Okay, let's do that. Let's save those for tomorrow. Okay, right, let's go and look what I've been up to. Let's start at the very front of the garden then. And yeah, you know, granted, this is still very much a mess. I've barely touched the edges, but nevertheless, it's just felt so good to make an indent and just start and to be out in the garden again. It feels like absolutely ages since I've been out here just doing little jobs and things. How I've managed to keep putting out a video a week when it feels like weeks and weeks since I've actually done anything out here, I don't know. Thank you for sticking with me. But yeah, it's felt really, really good. Anyway, we're starting at the front. Let's do a whip round and I'll show you what I've done, but also the things that I've noticed as I've been paying more attention to my garden. So right by the door at the front of the house, oh dear, is bulbs coming up. So these must be the crocus that I put in this bed. There's also tulips and alliums in there. And then if we come round, we can see stuff is coming up. How exciting. I mean, will most of these just be bluebells? Probably. Oh, look in there as well. See, I didn't notice that before. Hi, little primula. Oh, so pretty. Oh, hello, Dory. Brought me a ball, have you? Ready, go. Oh, that reminds me, Dory. Let's look at the witch hazel again, because what a ray of sunshine in a winter garden. It is absolutely stunning. And all the buds are coming out now, almost to the very end. But yeah, I've put it in this herb border because I can look out from the kitchen and see it and have that splash of colour in the winter garden. Now over here is where I was doing some work, so I've taken the foliage off the hellebores and now you can see the buds and hopefully they'll be happier for it. So many buds on that one, and that is my absolute favourite one. It's a real dusky colour. And then this one is my dark red one. I do know all the names to these, or I have them saved. Oh, and look, daffs. Almost daffs and almost snowdrops as well. And here by the pond is another hellebore that I've cleared the leaves, and that's got lots and lots of buds on too. That's a double, a kind of pink and white one. I have not done anything to the pond. I've cleared some of the salvias back here, and it's not necessary, but by doing that we can see some of the other things that were hidden by it, like another primula. So it is kind of worth doing some of that clearing back, because yeah, you're uncovering the things that are hidden underneath. But I've not gone mad. I've just kind of done the things that were blocking the paths or blocking flowers that were coming up. What else have we got? Under this acer, more hellebores where I've cleared the foliage back. So I've got one there, one there, one there, one at the back as well. But doing that one has exposed the hardy cyclamen that are under here. The saffron crocus that I put in seem to be fine, so I put them in here. I put them in a tub on their own. This is with the mulberry tree. There's the Christmas tree, it's finally come out. And the ones over here, which were planted in between the winter radish, they seem fine too. When do you harvest winter radishes? They seem still quite small. Not sure. This bed is pretty clear now. It's just got the tortandine kale at the back and it's got some rows of garlic. This bed, I did clear the cutting celery. I just left one which looked fairly healthy, but they had big roots on, so I have taken the whole roots out because I think they might be quite invasive. And in the corner of this bed, we've got the leeks. Poor little tiny leeks. But I'm just gonna let them keep going. They're alive. I went down this border and cleared some of the gladioli foliage, but then also tied in some of the berry canes that were coming out over the path. And actually the boysenberry looks a real tangle of stuff, but unfortunately there is you can see here, a dog rose in there as well, and it is super sharp, so it's a little bit tricky along there. But yeah, this border's looking fine. Oh, I will ask this of you. So I've got this calacarpa, which is supposed to have the beautiful purple balls on it at this time of year. Nothing. I've had nothing. Why is that? Is it just because it's new? Look at this though. This, what was that called? Luminaria or something? Have I got the tag? No. But that's spreading nicely. That would be a nice ground cover because it's got that lovely silver foliage like Brunnera does. And now I want to show you something that really surprised me. Right at the back of the garden. Look down here. I've got, how do you pronounce it? Nausea? Thunder and lightning. Got one of those, and there's a little bud over there as well. That seems odd that is flowering at this time of year. I love these, absolutely love them. I want them to spread everywhere. And then behind that, in my pallet bed, the mint bed, I finally cut back all the foliage. Some of you might recall I said I was going to do that about a month ago. But all the dead mint canes have gone now. Do you call those canes? Stems. It's allowing now for the new mint to come through, and also for me to see all my labels and varieties. It does need a bit of a weed, but yeah, pretty happy with my mint bed. And I also think back here we've got the three-cornered leek coming up. Let's have a sniff. Oh yes, definitely what that is. No sign so far of the wild garlic that grows behind the ornamental beehive. What else did I do? Fixed my tunnel. Oh, I put stuff in the compost, which felt like a weirdly really nice thing to do, to actually add to the compost. Okay, well I think that might be it. I mean, I slightly pruned the apple, but it's still a very young tree, so there was just a couple of bits that were kind of crossing, so I took that off. And I did the same with the white currant. I'm trying to do the what's the shape that they say? Goblet shape for the white currant, the same as the fruit trees. Tortandine kale, my absolute pride and joy, is looking splendid after its wilting in the frost in last week's video. Look at it now. There's nothing wrong with you, was there? Nothing. Okay. Oh, I know, there was something I did want to show you. Oh, you're gonna like this. Okay, we have to step over the pond. Okay, check this out. So I cut back the salvia here, but look at this. Oh, now I'm doubting myself. Something in me said that's a ranunculus, but now I'm thinking it's maybe geranium. Yeah, maybe it is a geranium. Where was that other ranunculus? I don't know, that looks very ranunculusly. Well, I guess we'll see. The other ones were in here, I think, but yeah, I can't see any of them now. Oh, but look what is here. That is my hardy lemon from Jurassic Plants, and I was a bit concerned about it because although it is hardy, it's only a tiny little plant at the moment, but seems fine. Good, well done. And while we're at the pond border, you can see there are shoots on the fig tree. Focus, there we go. So that's good. And also just to point out that these heathers that I got free from the garden centre, they were just giving them away because they were poorly little sad things that were practically dead in their pots. Well, they're about, I don't know, twice, 3 times the size now, and I don't think I lost really a single one, so really pleased with that. And we'll just pan up because the silk tassel tree looks absolutely stunning at this time of year. It's got all its fresh tassels. It's lovely when the light hits it as well in the morning. Also good news is that the sea kale looks fine. Okay, it's quite sheltered in this spot, and we've also got the sea beet that is still alive but not very big, and the samphire is in here as well. That doesn't look quite so good, but should be okay come spring, she says. This bamboo, no issues. This one's invasive, it is in a pot. Look, you can tell we've had a rare sunny day because the solar lights have come on. There's one down here as well. I don't think these solar lights are probably going to last till this summer, but shine on, shine on. Yes, Dory, yes, good girl. Oh, it's so long since we did any kind of like tour. It's lovely. Yeah, Dory. Oh, just kicked the ball into my rose. Oh, that's looking good though. This is the Crazy in Love climbing rose, and it's got lovely fresh growth at the bottom there. This is in one of the small beds with the arches, and that's all the garlic under there, which is being protected from squirrels, as is the garlic that is around the edges of this bed. It's doing really well, but a squirrel keeps digging in this corner, so I've just put some spiky twigs down to prevent those coming on and digging up my garlics. Well, fun though this is, it's starting to get a bit cold and the sun has gone down now. So I think we'll head inside and have a bit of a break and then maybe do some seed sowing. See you in a bit. Good morning, it is Sunday morning. My little rest last night turned into a glass of wine in the bath. I made a curry, I watched Gladiators, and the seed sowing didn't happen. But I did go through my folders and pick the varieties that I want to sow today. And what we're going to be sowing before we head to the allotment is aubergines or eggplants and sweet peppers. So we've done the chili peppers, they're doing quite well. I've just raised them up slightly in the propagator so that they're a bit closer to the grow lights because they're getting a little bit leggy. I think they'll be okay, but I want to avoid them getting any leggier. So I've put them up a bit more near to the light. This propagator is going to stay as it is. And the sweet peppers and the aubergines are going to go onto the heat mat, which is a lot hotter than the propagator. And I've just washed some covers to put over my trays, and they will stay there until they germinate, and then they will move into here with the chili peppers where the temperature is still good. It's still like 20 degrees odd, but not quite so hot as the heat mat, and they'll have the benefit of the grow lights. So it turns out I've got quite a few varieties to sow. Let's do aubergines first. Now I've got 3 that I've grown before. They are Czech early aubergine, and this is a small but kind of traditional looking shape aubergine. It's quite purpley rather than black. But I've also got Black Beauty, which is your traditional aubergine. Looks like an aubergine that you would buy in the shop. And I've also got aubergine jewel marble, and this will be, I think, my 3rd year of growing this, although this is a new packet of seeds. I think Fothergills were giving these out for free with orders a couple of years ago, so I had a little store of jewel marble. But these are small, they're long, and they have white and purple striping, so they're quite striking looking little fruits. I've done well with the jewel marble so far. And then my new one for this year is long purple aubergine, which I have Growbust Greenhouse to thank for. This was part of my Secret Santa, and I'm really looking forward to these. I hope these do well, because I've never had those long, thin purple aubergines before. So those are the aubergines. So we've got 4 of those. So I'm going to do 4 seeds of each, 4 in a row in the tray, and that will be aubergines. Now sweet peppers, I've got a couple that I've done before, which are the real seeds ones. Napier pointy red sweet pepper and sweet chocolate pepper. I've not had masses from either of these plants, but I don't think that's anything to do with the variety. I think it's just that I'm not that great at growing sweet peppers. Gonna try and do better this year. So those 2 probably don't have much seed in now, actually. Probably only have a couple in each, so we'll see. But then I've also got, new for this year, Pepper Corno Giallo from the Heritage Organic Seed Company. I think I did sow this last year because the packet is open, but I don't remember getting any. Then I've got Yellow Sweet Banana, which is from the Incredible Seed Library, and I've never done a banana pepper before, never had a yellow pepper, so I'm very much looking forward to that one. And then I've got Long Red Marconi, which is the pepper I actually chose from my King's Seed catalogue for this year, so that's the one. I can't remember why I chose it. Sweet, mild sweet flavour, medium green, turning deep red on maturity, very productive. That was probably why I chose that one, very productive. And the last one I've got, which I think is something that my neighbour passed along, is sweet pepper Topipo Rosso. And this is one that says biggest crops in the greenhouse, but can grow outdoors. Interesting. So if we're short on space, that one's going outdoors. So that's my sweet peppers. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do 3 in each, 2 trays for those, and 4 seeds of each again, if there are 4 seeds in those real seeds ones. And that, oh, very good. That leaves me 3 trays to do some lettuces. So I've got the Bronze Beauty lettuce, which is the one that did best for me last year, and it does say that it can be sown from January. So I'm going to give that one a little go, and hopefully those can then go outside with some protection. But I do have gaps in the greenhouse, so I can perhaps put some in there as well. And then the other lettuce I've got is Marvel of 4 Seasons. So it should be fine for now. It does say you can sow from February, and we're nearly at February, and that was a seed pantry one. And then lastly, I've got some rocket, and this is actually seed that is for microgreens, but I'm going to sow them quite thickly and then perhaps use them as microgreens, but also maybe prick some out and put them in the garden. So each of those gets a tray, and that's it. So I was talking about staggering my sowings so as not to get overwhelmed. Feel that I'm slightly veering from that path here, but nevertheless, I'm not doing tomatoes yet, so we're okay, we're okay. And I've got room at the moment. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, let's get these planted. Well, the sun is setting on the allotment. I've been here, wow, a good 2 or 3 hours. I've been here with Mark. We've had our very first bonfire on the plot, which was pretty exciting. We've been up and down the plot looking at the dumpy areas, and primarily to get some wood for my oyster mushroom plugs, which desperately need to be put into some wood. So we've got a few logs, but we also found this little metal fire, what do you call them? Fire bin? I don't know. So we've been burning a bit of the old wood that we had on the plot. But other than that, I've weeded and planted up the strawberry bed, fruit tree guild, etc. With those bulbs that I found. So even if they don't come to anything this year, perhaps next year, but I'm quite happy that that got done. Just weeding that small area though starts making you think of all the rest that still needs doing. No rush, no rush. What else did I do? I took the carrots out of the carrot beds because I didn't think there were very many in there and that they were probably getting eaten by something. Turns out there were loads in there and they look all right. So I think it's going to be carrot soups this week. I also redid my structure. So now that the storms have passed for the time being, I thought I'd better cover those brassicas because the pigeons have been out in force on this allotment. And yeah, I was warned and I did not take heed, but yeah, the pigeons have been down and they have been eating the brassicas and even the Tortondine kale. God damn them. So actually, before I go, I want to put something over that one as well. But this one I used just fleece. It's very fine fleece. It's quite a cheap fleece. It's the one I got from the allotment shop. I think a gust of wind and that will be gone and torn. But yeah, if it just deters the pigeons for the time being, and I think if I know the wind is going to be getting up, I need to come down and take that down and put something a little bit more robust over them. My problem with that structure is I haven't got anything quite wide enough to go right over the top. Everything's like 1 or 2 meter wide. What I've done with that fleece is sort of gone round one side and then round the other side as well. I haven't put in the new raspberry canes that I bought. So this is what I did get from B&Q. And these were the ones that I bought last year that didn't take. So I'm giving them another go this year. And I feel that part of the problem with putting the raspberries in last year was that I just stuffed them into the clay soil and they had to do their best. I think this time I'm going to dig a nice size hole, put some good compost in and then put the canes in, and at least give them a little bit of a start before they have to tackle the clay. But yes, just like yesterday, it's just been really lovely to be down here. Really nice that Mark was down here too. We sat for quite a while just drinking tea and watching the fire. And, you know, it was just really nice to just be hanging out here again and doing little jobs. Yeah, feels good. Feels good for the soul. Oh my God, there's the fox. Can you see it? It's just there by that chair. That way. That way. Oh, it's moving. Can you see it? Let me go down and see if I can catch him. You see him behind? There he goes. There he goes. Come back. See if I can get him behind here. It's down there. There we go. There's the plot then. So you can see this is really quite fine fleece. I mean, I had to ask Mum to drop some pegs over the fence because I had nothing to secure it with. Yeah, I don't imagine that's gonna last for too long. I mean, they're still there, and you can see what I mean about the pigeons. Look, they went to town on my kale. And do you remember last time we were down here, I said there was no sign of the rhubarbs? Check that out. That is a little rhubarb leaf coming up. Can't find the other one, but one's good, one's good. This is where the new raspberry canes will go. This is where I thought the two polanas that didn't take were actually coming up, but there's no sign of them now, so we'll see. And it wouldn't be an allotment visit if we didn't check on the romanesco. I've put a larger pot on now because he's still there and he's still growing. And that's starting to separate a little bit. I'm a bit cautious because I want it to grow into a huge romanesco cauliflower, but at the same time I'm like, do I harvest it before it separates and tries to go to flower? But for the time being, it's got his pot on, and the one next to it is also starting to produce a romanesco, but pigeon has been eating this one. Oh, so that gets a pot too. Oh, can't do that with one hand. And there is a tiny one on that plant too, so that also got a plant pot lid. But it's very tiny at the moment. The bed frame netting thing, cover, has gone over these brassicas, which have also been completely eaten by pigeons. This is not tall enough for these brassicas, but nevertheless, it's on there. And yeah, there's the bed that I've weeded today and added in all those spring bulbs. I didn't do the end. And then lastly, for just this mini update, this is the garlic and onion bed, and you can see there are garlics in there, and there are little onions coming up too. So I've just put on some wire mesh so that well, those foxes and things stay off. The carrot beds, this one is now empty, but this one I've planted some elephant garlic bulbils in, which didn't do anything for me last year, but I'm just going to give them another go and see what they would do is produce like just a single clove this year, and then the following year you can replant or leave in, and then you get another elephant garlic. That's the idea. They're really hard little nut things, they're weird, but yeah, we'll see what they do. I won't waste that bed though. I think I'll put some lettuce seed over the top as well, and then put a, oh sorry, the gimbal just lost charge. Yes, that bed, did you hear that? Or foxes. I'm going to put some lettuce seed in it and then put a sheet of polycarbonate over the top of the raised bed, and then the lettuce can grow up around the garlic if indeed the garlic does grow. But it means that if the garlic isn't doing anything, the bed isn't just sitting being wasted. Right, the sun has gone down, the fire's gone out, so that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Take care.